Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? It's SEL0320 representing JS. This is real quick a review for episode 4 of season 2 of Supergirl. I gotta get ready to go to work, but I wanted to go ahead and shoot this review for y'all, and I got some more reviews I gotta do for the Halloween thing that I was talking about before. But let me just say, Supergirl is a better show. Specifically, a lot better than the first season. I mean, the thing about this, I think that them being close to Vancouver and them being with the group that does Arrow, like the hand-to-hand combat, like the fight sequences and the way they choreograph it, it's just stylized so much better. There was a fight with Sawyer and Alex against this random metahuman. I thought that was choreographed very well. But when they finally got to Roulette, who's kind of the villain of the story in an extent, but really it's kind of like prejudice and like using people that are not. What they're doing is, from the last episode, they're extending the situation where aliens, or basically illegal people that are kind of just counted off as nothing, not considered real people, don't have any real rights, so they get to do what they want to with them. I mean, it goes back to like thinking about slavery, essentially. I think there was one comment where Roulette was like, Michael Vick got it wrong. The thing is, people care about dogs, but they don't care anything about these aliens, you know? And I was like, dang, you know? So what her concept in her head is, though, because people don't care about them, I can use them. I can leverage them. I can give them promises and then break them. And these people are getting killed. Like, these aliens are killing each other in the ring. What was the twist was, it was the fact that Megan, or Mrs. Martian, as she calls herself in the ring, is participating with this willingly. He doesn't have any leverage against her. And John just ain't having it. Like, John Jones is like, went up in her face, like, who and what are you doing, you know? And it boils down to a really interesting dialogue of this back and forth, like, we're the last of our kind, like, why would you let yourself do this? His reasons for, you know, being who he is one thing, and remembering and wanting to own it and do it. And hers is like, she wants to feel it all. She wants to feel the guilt. She feels as though she's deserving. That's the only thing she has. You know, she's not doing it for the thrills. It's her penance, essentially. And it parallels, in a way, Melissa Benoist's Kara or Supergirl with Mon-El. The thing about this, I'll say about Mon-El, Chris Wood, which I actually loved him as Kai in The Vampire Diaries. The thing about him in this show is I love his charisma and I love his character and his personality, but there's never a moment that I completely trust him. It's like, as much as, like, I love when he was talking with Wynn and interacting with him and in the bar and his sincerity and stuff like that, it's like there's just moments I just cannot trust him. And I actually love that. It's like, he might be a great, good person, but because just things I just don't know, you know, is very interesting. And I think that he said, what was it? He said something to Kara about the weakness of the guy that was messing Kara up in the ring that she had fought against. And I was like, how would he know that specific place unless he's actually done it? I feel like this dude is a elite fighter. Specifically, if he was the one that was with royalty, guarding royalty, and then kind of got pushed out onto Earth. I don't know what his real agenda is. As much as I thought that, I was like, okay, I know. I really don't. The thing I didn't like about this episode is that Kara got her butt handed her. Like, by this huge guy, and I was just like, Kara's fought worse. How in the world she's gonna get slammed down and then she's just like, oh, my wrist. You know, I don't know. I thought that was kind of a cop-out to be able to push more of emphasis of how well that Miss Martian fights. Like, when she was fighting against the first dude, she just gave him the business. And then when she had to square off against her own cousin, that was an even more intense fight. And it's obvious that she's an amazing fighter. She's got a lot of anger. She's capable of a lot, you know. So the episode, to me, it just, those two different parallels identify, because with Kara, with relation to Mon-El, she's just not trying to help him. She's trying to disassociate herself from him and kind of let him do his own thing, even though she cares about him, but she really is trying not to. And John was doing the opposite, but he's trying to project onto it versus just letting them be, trusting and seeing that they can be these people without the title of being a Kryptonian or Daxon or a Martian. And I thought that from the storyline standpoint, I thought that the parallels were really good because it put Kara in a very interesting predicament when she started trying to preserve and save these aliens. It's even like in her workforce, she's trying her best to get the scoop story. When there was a moment with her and Roulette, Melissa Benoist, this girl's a good actor, man, because when she was talking with Roulette and she kind of used her laser beams to just kind of fire across, I thought that sequence was dope. I don't even think they've done anything like that in the movies, but when she kind of sat down and Roulette was kind of breaking down the whole dynamics of why she was going to make it, why even if Kara got her, she would get out. Melissa Benoist, you could tell the fear and the anger and then just the hurt in her eyes, and I was just like, this chick is such a good actress, It's just, I think that sometimes with the fighting sequence, they put her in predicaments that just don't make sense, conducive of what she's capable of. Because I feel like she could have easily took that dude, but whatever. It is what it is. Because John Jones and Miss Marshall had a hard time kind of going at him. But excuse me, Miss Martian, the ending. If you're a comic book fan, you know what's going on with her character. But for those that are not, y'all are gonna come to love her character because of that twist. Because at the end of the day, you'll understand what's happening, which I'm not gonna go and explain in this video, but it is gonna be something really interesting that you're not gonna expect at all. And then to end it off, I think that even with Mon-El, I don't know where they're gonna go with this character because he is way more capable in what he's actually showing. Specifically based on what I know from him as a character in the comics. Now they might change it, but just on what I know of him as a character, I think that this is a lot. So for me, I give this episode 9 out of 10. I actually really enjoyed it. Jimmy was not appearing in this episode at all. It's interesting because I feel like Mon-El is taking the place of Jimmy. I feel like Kara's eventually going to get feelings for Mon-El. And that's the reason why they didn't extend this whole Jimmy and Kara thing, which I feel like is just going to come right back full circle. But what can you do? But definitely, out of all the things I identified, Supergirl is a better show than what it was. So hopefully y'all enjoyed my review for Supergirl episode 4. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.